and welcome to Up the Villa podcast. If you're new to our channel, subscribe, drop a like and get involved in the comment section down below. Thank you everybody who's enjoying our content. You're smashing it at the minute. The comments, it's creating a right little forum and it's great. You know, it's not just a podcast. We create a forum with interaction in the comment section. So drop your thoughts below on West Ham v Aston Villa. Pause this video, smash a like. It helps push the video further to YouTube, and it just helps us get, you know, a lot more engagement as well. And be sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 7,000. We're nearly at 6.1 already. So thank you very much, and thanks for your continued support. So West Ham 2, Aston Villa 1. Our form has took a momentary blip. We've lost the game. We've conceded 2 goals. And yeah, bit of a weird one really. You know, looking at the lineups, I felt like West Ham maybe we're going to ring a few more changes with their one eye on the Europa League against Seville. I felt like we were going to maybe make a change in central midfield, because to play 3 games in 8 days with our midfield, I felt maybe a little bit more of an energy change was maybe needed, just because of how good West Ham are in central midfield. But it didn't happen, did it? We kept the same 11. And I felt, to be honest, all in all, first half, I felt like we held our own. I felt it was really combative. It was a really, to and fro game, wasn't it? It was a little bit, we was catching them on the counter at times. I don't think West Ham sort of bossed the first half. I mean, they battered us at Villa Park, didn't they? Their midfield absolutely destroyed us. But first half, I felt like we went in 0-0. I felt like we were holding our own and we were doing a job, weren't we? I think if you look at the 2 midfields, I think their midfield is head and shoulders above ours in central midfield wise. But our 3, McGinn, Ramsey and Luiz, Luiz came off the back of off the pitch with, needing surgery on his lip, and I felt like we really put ourselves about a little bit in midfield, especially in the first half. I think Danny Ings had a real big chance where, he needs to take that chance. Coutinho had a little bit of a flick as well, didn't he? And these games are done on fine margins. I said at half time this game was going to be won by the odd goal, and it's whoever took their chances. But we went at half time, and I felt like our midfield did okay. It held its own in the circumstances of having played 2 games and a half in 8 days really. We went at second half, and I just felt like they got on top of us, didn't they? They started to boss midfield, and Declan Rice is a fantastic footballer. I said in the match preview, didn't I, that he's one of my favourite non-Villa players in the Premier League. Just the way about he goes, his overall game. And West Ham started to get control, didn't they? And I think West Ham, when they start to get control in the game, and it kind of becomes quite robotic, doesn't it? That Rice starts picking it up, and I love the way he plays really, because he can spread out the width of the pitch. He doesn't just stay centrally. He can pick it up on the left, pick it up on the right, and his awareness to pick it up in the right areas, his sense of danger, and he's just his overall distribution of the ball is top class. And when he starts picking the ball up and getting in those types of areas and finding sort of like Fornals and the Lanzinis and the Yarmolenkos, that they start to sort of like go up a gear, don't they? And it means that our midfield is sort of a chasing West Ham, and that's how I felt like it was in the second half. I think West Ham had that sort of physicality over us. I think that they were starting to like brush Douglas Luiz off the ball, and we just didn't have a grip on midfield, and I think that's where ultimately the game was won and lost. I don't think there was too much in the game overall, but the moments West Ham had, they took their chances, and I just think we just couldn't live with them in the second half. I mean, if you're looking at the stats, they had 11 shots, we had 13, they had 4 on target, we had 7. Possession, 53% Villa. Passes, they had 444, we had 487. Pass accuracy, we had 82%, 83, sorry, they had 82. So, stats don't mean anything, but it shows that it was a pretty even game, wasn't it? But if we go to their first goal of the game, the ball comes into Yarmolenko. He's on 18 yards out, say, in the 18-yard box, sorry, and he just picks it up, he turns and he hits it with sort of like the outside of his foot, and Martinez was sort of crowded out, and it was a real tidy finish, to be fair. It was a real good goal, but you'd like to see someone going in on Yarmolenko and just blocking that shot, but I think it was a well taken goal, really, and they were well on top at that point, and it was just. You just started to think like it was only a matter of time before they got their goal. We go on to their second goal, and we've made some changes here, and these changes that we'd made were a little bit. I'm not sure really how I felt about the changes that we made. We saw Dougie Luiz come off for Leon Bailey, and we were already losing the midfield battle, and I just felt like. We just needed to get that little bit of a foothold and that little bit of a grip on the game. And I just felt like with that substitution, I just felt like the midfield, we just didn't boss midfield, did we? We were chasing it already, and we just looked a little bit really light. I would have liked to have seen Sanson come on for a little bit more energy, just to get on the ball a little bit and sort of try and take the game to West Ham, because we saw once we went 2-0 down that we started to show a little bit, and when Buendia came on as well, and I thought Buendia, when he came on, he looked bright as well, but Leon Bailey, he loses the ball, he looks for that foul, and we just didn't get it, did we? And this goal now that we conceded, that you can see on the screen, it was a little bit like the Watford, and it was and who did we lose to before Watford? I can't remember who we lost to. Newcastle. If you see where we lose the ball now, you can see where Matty Cashar is closest to us. Ashley Young is on the far side now, and we've just turned the ball over. And if you look at the shape of the team here, McGinn has got to win the ball now against Declan Rice, and he loses that challenge, doesn't he? Rice bypasses McGinn, and then the next phase of play, we've sort of got what we were seeing against Watford and Newcastle. We've got West Ham driving towards us, and it's sort of like it's a 4-on-2, isn't it? And the shape of the team at the minute is just all over the show. Again, Ashley Young is on the far side. Cash is out of the picture as well. So if we go forward again, the ball comes across, and it's a 3-on-2. Ashley Young's nowhere to be seen, and it's. It's just an easy shot on the edge of the penalty box, isn't it? And it's 2-0. And I know we're chasing the game, but I just felt like without that DM in that 3, am I being picky, Villa fans? I don't know, but I just felt like we just lacked that structure in central midfield, and it's 2-0, and we're chasing the game. And I think at 2-0, we start playing, don't we? We start getting on the ball. I thought Bailey's cross, when he sort of nearly got in Buendia, was really good. I thought Bailey was okay, but I just felt like he could have tracked back a little bit more when he lost the ball, for their second. But I thought Bailey looked quite bright. Buendia came on, he looked bright, didn't he? And Ramsey's goal was just class, wasn't it? It was another class finish. And it's just a frustrating one, because it just felt like they took their chances, and when we didn't have that grip on the game, it was just really frustrating. It was interesting to hear what Steven Gerrard said after the game. There was not much in the game. It was decided on a few moments only. What I found out from today is that we need more stature and a more profile in the team. And I think Villa fans, we've noticed this for a really long time, haven't we? And it's interesting that Gerrard has just alluded to it in a game where we've come up against a team that are so combative, so great in central midfield. They boss midfield, don't they? And if you can boss midfield, it just means that you've got so much structure and so much freedom going forward, that if you lose that ball, you've still got that structure there. And we saw for our second goal, as soon as we lost that ball in transition, we got absolutely nothing, and we're chasing the game. And I think moving forward, especially into next season. We can't have that. We can't be chasing the game in that transition. We've got to have our central midfielder in that position, protecting our back four. And every Villa fan knows where we are light in this team, and it leads us on to an area of the pitch that we massively need improving. Yes, I think Douglas Luiz does things quite good. Yes, when our midfield three are working in unison, I think it works really well. Against Southampton, against Brighton, against Leeds, the midfield three has worked really well. It's complemented itself really, really well. So I don't want to get too negative and just say just because we've lost, we need to start picking out players. But I just think when our midfield three doesn't work, it's glaringly obvious where the issues lie, and I think it is solely in that CDM role. Yes, the complement, and it works well, but there's certain games where we just need that player, like a Calvin Phillips, just to offer more protection, just to sort of like tuck in and just act as a three. And I think that's where we when we're chasing the games, we look really light, and it just leaves us really light. So player ratings for this game, I'm going to go Martinez 7. He made a worldie save, didn't he? And then I think it was Dawson who just headed over, but I thought Martinez did okay. Ashley, I'm going to give him a 6. Mings, Chambers 7 each. Cash, I'm going to give him a 7. Dougie Luiz, I thought he got around the pitch, he had his lip busted, he was physical, he was a little bit physical, but there was areas where he got brushed off the ball. I'm going to give him a 6. Ramsey, great goal, I'm going to give him a 7. McGinn, a 6. I felt like he looked a little bit leggy in this game. Coutinho, 7. Yes, he was getting on the ball, he was trying to pull the strings, but it just wasn't happening, was it, today for Coutinho? I just felt like he was just trying to force it a bit too much, and we didn't really have too much in front of him. There was a lack of movement, but when West Ham's sitting and tucking in their shape, it's really difficult to break them down. I'm going to go Danny Ings 6. I felt like he was okay. He was offering, he was getting in and about, weren't he? He had that chance, probably should have put that away. And I'm going to go Watkins 5. Watkins, when he's on it, he's on it. When he's not, he's well off it. And today I felt like it was one of those games. His hold-up play was okay-ish. But I just felt like he didn't put himself about enough for me. We didn't really see too many forward runs, did we? And I just felt like everything was just a bit too casual with Ings and Watkins today. And I just think it comes off the back of 3 tough games, doesn't it? We won 3 in a row. We've played 3 games in 8 days. I just think if we maybe utilise the squad a little bit more, especially in central midfield, that would be my only gripe today. I'd have liked to have seen Sanson start, and if not start, I'd have liked to have seen him come on the pitch today. I think bringing Leon Bailey on wasn't what we needed at that time. I just think it was just the wrong substitution for me. But let me know, you guys, what you think in the comment section. Who you felt like we should have brought on, what your player ratings are, how you felt like we did today. But I just think on reflection, tough away game, tough game away at West Ham. We've showed signs that we can be physical, but it just wasn't enough today, was it? And I just think we'd got too many 6s and 5s in our performance today, and it just wasn't what was needed. But to be fair, West Ham probably did edge it. If I don't want to do them too much justice, I think they had more clear-cut chances. I think they did boss the game, so I think a 2-1. I can take that really. I didn't feel like we did enough to get the point, and I think we only showed more when we were 2-0 down. So I think we've got to reset. Luca Dean came off, didn't he? That's going to be a bit of a worry. Dougie Luiz, he's okay to continue, but I just think maybe we need to just freshen up the lineup now a little bit and just offer something a little bit different. But we didn't get battered. I mean, when we got battered at home against West Ham, it was night and day performance. We showed more. It was more competitive. West Ham would have come off the pitch today knowing that they were in a game with us, so that is also pleasing. But I think we just got to go on to the next one, regroup, I think we're still sitting in 9th place. So, we're in this mini sort of league with Brighton, Palace. So let's just hope we can top that league. So thank you for watching. Get involved in the comment section and up the Villa.